good. That's really good. I like that. It's just now coming up. Come on, watch live video. Do 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 do. Play. Come on, play. Here we go. Let us know that you're here, guys. We need to know when you are here and who you are, where you are. And you gotta share, share, share.
Share, share, share. Lots of sharing. Caring.
Huh?
Sharing is caring.
Hey, Jackie Santana. I like saying your name, Santana. My daughter's name is Jackie. She's a spitfire. She's an amazing, amazing chickadee.
She is amazing.
Join us. Yay, everybody.
Why don't I see us?
Oops. Hello, Joanne from Florida. And another Jackie, spelled differently, from Colorado. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Susan from South Alabama. Hey, Kim Summers, St. Louis checking in. Carol, where were you on Tuesday? I noticed you were gone. I'm like, where is she? Is she okay? I worry about you when you don't show up.
Could you be done too? Mm-hmm.
I hope everything is okay with you. I'm sure it is now. I need to put the coupon code in with you. Hello, let's see. Donna, oh my goodness, I used to watch Laurie on Periscope. That just dated you. And I have her.
I said dated us.
She's talking about your fire helmet tutorial.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see her.
Everybody wanted that tutorial.
That is so funny.
It was fun too. It was a lot. It was fun. All right, let's do some sharing here. Share.
Yeah, time to share. Denise, hello. Betty Miller from South Louisiana, and Rebecca, happy Thursday to you too. And Jackie Santana is from Chicago, and Carol Ann, you were making cards and lost track of time. Did you go back and watch that, Carol? That was a really, really good live. We have some great lives, but that was amazeballs. Doggy Bag Biscuits, welcome. And Nancy Eckhart from Florida. And I got to put the discount code in. I have not done that. And then you guys are going to tell on me and I'm going to get in trouble. So I'm going to do that right now. So the discount code today is Laurie 421. And it is 10% off of your supplies starting today, 2021, ending 0407 on my mom's birthday, 2021. And now it is added. Woohoo! We go ahead and just refresh, Lynn, if your page froze. It happens to me sometimes too. Oh wait, I'm frozen too. Look at that. I just went to look. Oh, you're welcome, Kim.
There we go.
Yeah, are you frozen there too? Is it us?
No. Okay. No, I'm on Facebook and we're not frozen, so.
Okay, so it happens. I usually just refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gloria's feed is not frozen, but it happens.
Yeah, it does happen. That's wrong.
Yeah, I'm coming back up, and we will start in just a minute. Yeah, so just if it happens, just if it doesn't come back, see, now I'm not frozen. I'm not. Yeah, so I just want to talk about. We're going to start in just a minute, but I got to finish sharing. Tuesday, Sharon from Stencil Expressions was on, and she went and showed us how to create your own PYO palettes not with your edible printer, that create very vibrant colors. It's definitely a must-see if you do cookies or PYO. Go and watch this. It is worth your time. You will save so much money and so much time. I mean, a ton of money. You will bring your costs down from 50 cents a pallet to less than pennies. So, and it looks really good, and your customers will love the vibrant colors. So that was on Tuesday. So head back and watch that if you missed it. Hello, Senorita Cupcake. And there we go. Also, let's see, I have all my stuff here. We are out of masks. They're gone.
Oh
no. Sorry. I'm looking for the right box. Number 3 is it? As you guys may have read on our email, I am involved with working with a really amazing company. It's called The Edible Scroll. And they create Bible verses, and they're selected, based on prayers. And they put 40 Bible verses in here that are on wafer paper, and you can eat them. It gives a whole new meaning of ingesting the word. Everybody prays, meditates differently. At first, I was like, that's weird. And then I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I get so engrossed in prayer, it'd be kind of cool. But they make great gifts. They come in this box. It is hand-carved olive wood. It smells like olive wood. Each one is different because they're hand-carved in Israel, in Bethlehem, which is really cool, I think. And when you open them, there is this scroll, and you can open that up and read that, of course. But the meat of it is in here. And see, isn't that beautiful?
They're really cool.
And in here, I'm going to open this up and open this up. And there are 40 Bible verses in here. And you can actually eat them. See that? That's Jeremiah. This one is, when the words came, I ate them. How appropriate. They were my joy and my heart's delight, for I bear your name, Lord God Almighty. So whatever you believe, if this is something that interests you, you can find them at www.theediblescroll.com. I'll put that on here. With Easter coming, it makes a really nice gift. Even Mother's Day, even just no reason at all. You just love somebody and want to spread it.
I thought they would be awesome for anybody that's teaching Bible classes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with those kids, they would love it.
They would love it.
Yeah, little kids eating Bible verse. Really, Mommy, we had a snack today. We ate our verse. You eating paper again, Henry? No, Mom. It was edible.
And you could refill it because you could print your own.
Exactly. And we will be selling refills. Again, I'm supposed to hear about that tomorrow. So that's that. And then partial proceeds. It's really neat the way they have this set up. Anybody who's involved in it gets to pick their charity. And obviously I picked my son's, which is Branch Ministries. And that's also in the email as well. And so I don't make money from this. I don't want to. This is a mission, and it's benefiting other missions. So anyway, moving on from that, if you haven't read on Facebook, we have opened up our newest location, and we went south. It is in Antarctica. We have a lot of customers there, and we just want to serve them better. So we are hiring for our South Pole location. All right. Any questions? Let me know. And today's April Fool's joke is, who is on the screen next to me? Yay, it's Laurie Collins, Whisk Confections.
I'm not Denise.
She is not Denise, that's the joke. Actually, Denise is sick, and I'm not sure what's wrong, and I'm a little concerned. So speaking of prayer, say a little prayer for her. She's got to run her bakery and be sick, and that's not good. So say a little prayer, and hopefully she'll be back. But Laurie, our amazing Laurie, who's usually behind the scenes, she's always on every live, you just can't see her. and she's the one who makes us move around. And I talk to, hey, Laurie, can you do this? This is Laurie. And I know a lot of you know her. She's been in the industry forever. Yes.
Yeah.
Forever.
For
a little while. Yeah, you've seen a lot. I mean, you've worked in many, many different avenues of this industry. So join me in welcoming Laurie Collins, and she will tell you all about what she is going to create. So here's Laurie.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Deb, for having me come on. I'm going to do a switcheroo here. Whoop. All right. And, ooh, you can see my dirty cake room.
Over here. Now that we're looking at it, we were not looking at it before.
Right.
Just saying.
We're not going to look at it because we're going to be down below anyway. Denise was sick today, and Deb asked me, was there anything we could do at the last minute? And I said, well, yeah, there is. There's always something we can do, and something we can do using Edible Images products, because I use a lot of them. We use them every week in some form or fashion. We are using something from Edible Images every week.
Icing Images is her name, by the way.
Yeah.
How long have we been friends?
Icing Images every week with edible paper. Anyway, so today I told Dad we're going to do making bows. Let me show you one of them. Making bows with Flex Frost, wafer paper, and or smart sheets. So Deb challenged me to also do one with smart sheets. So we're going to make bows 5 ways. So 5 different ways you can make a bow. So I'm going to adjust my workspace down and show you what we're going to be using.
We're going for a ride. Whee!
All right.
There we go.
It should be center, I think.
You are beautiful.
Okay.
It is wonderful.
All right. So we are going to use Little Honey's cake glue. Now,
we sell this on our website now.
Right. And it's awesome glue. If you haven't used it, get some. I'm going to use some paper potion.
That comes in 2 sizes.
Yeah.
I'll throw links up for you guys.
Big and small. We're going to use a pin blade, and I know that Icing Images carries 4 different ones. I prefer the yellow one myself. They all work the same. It's just a preference. There's just everybody has a preference probably.
Yeah, these are the different blades right here.
Yeah, and the one that I like to use looks like a regular craft blade. So we are going to use some Flex Frost. At least I didn't say Flex Fabric.
That is also on our website. You're using a lot of our products.
And we got a challenge to use a smart sheet. So we're going to use a smart sheet.
Yay.
And I do a lot of stuff with wafer paper. So I did some printed wafer paper. And this was printed with iDesigns. So this is one of the designs off iDesigns, one of the Easter designs. Okay. So that's what we're using. All right, so let's get started. We're going to do the black one first. It's a bow tie. Let me keep this one paper here. You can cut these many different ways. I like to use a quilting ruler. So this is a quilting ruler. They come all different ways. You can get long ones, short ones, square ones, round ones. I like this one. It's a 12 by 6 quilting ruler. Okay. Makes great straight lines, and you can read through the lines. That's what I like about it. So when I put it down, I can adjust my lines. You could also cut these strips out on your electronic cutter if you want to. You could use a paper cutter. You could whack it off with scissors if you need to use some scissors. But I find that I tend to use my quilting ruler and a pen blade. So for this first bow, let me put it right here so you guys can all see it. This is a standard bow that people ask to put on a groom's cake. They ask you to put on a baby's shower cake, like little man is turning 1 or something like that. This is a standard bow. Could you make it out of gum paste and fondant? Yes, you could. Why would I not do that? Does anybody know why I would not do that?
Let me take a guess. Is it heavier?
That's one reason.
Is it harder to eat?
Yes, I would need it.
Okay. I'm waiting for everybody else to catch up because there's a delay. So I'm kind of coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
Do they break easy?
They break very easily.
I'm not a decorator guy, so I'm guessing. So you got to come around. You guys should. No dry time.
No dry time.
That's from Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine.
Jasmine gets the ribbon. That's why.
Okay.
No dry time. And at the last minute, you forgot to make it. Oh, has that ever happened to anybody? Yes. It happens all the time. We forgot to make a part. So a bow is an easy one. Or I could sit there and in an hour's time, I can make 10 or 20 of these and put them, store them in a closed, like a Tupperware container. Mm-hmm. We make them ahead and just store them in there.
All right, they've caught up with us. So Gloria says it's shinier, so it must be prettier than that. And Nancy says she can make it ahead of time, and Jasmine is laughing at us.
Yeah. So, no,
Jasmine.
To make this, you need to cut 2 strips, and I like to make them, my strips, 1.5 inches big. So my quilting rule, I measure up 1.5 inches, and I cut it with my pen blade. Okay. Pull the first strip off.
Why do you like using pen blades versus a regular X-Acto knife or scissors?
Okay, well, 2 reasons. One, because it's retractable and I don't stab myself.
Has that been a problem for you?
Yeah, oh yes, I've done that many times. So I'll pick it up, a regular one, and I'll, not looking and I'm not thinking because I'm in a hurry, and I'll stab myself with the end of it on your finger, on your other hand. The other reason is you can wash these. They're stainless steel blades. So if you use them with gum paste and fondant, which you can use them for those, if they get glue on them or whatever, you can wash them and let them air dry and they work fine. I've had some and they do not rust. And I've used some for a long, long time. Eventually they do get dull, but I mean, they're worth the money to me.
Oh, yeah.
I used to use a razor blade. Do you know how dangerous this is?
Ew, and it looks gross. Or something on the blade.
Well, there's a piece of paper on the blade. So when you get them, you take the paper off. So there's your razor blade. But they package them with the oil on them.
Yeah, not good.
So the first thing you got to do is you have to wash them, because I don't know what kind of oil. It smells like machine oil. Yeah. So that's not good. Pen blade, you don't have to worry about that. Pen blades actually were, this is an interesting story about pen blades. You might not know this. They actually make these blades and sell them to doctors and surgeons.
That's who helped design them, actually.
Yeah, which is cool. So you cut 1 strip 1.5 inches wide. Cut your second strip 1.5 inches wide. This is how fast this goes. Let me get my pen blade out. All right, and then pull it up off your paper. I keep my paper on the backing. Does anybody know why I would do that? I do it so I don't cut through the mat.
Okay. I was going to start guessing.
Not that that's ever been a problem, but okay. Now, I use the paper long ways. So I cut the paper long ways. So my strip is 8 inches long. Okay, both of my strips. I want to take one of them and cut it at 5 inches. This is where a little bit of math comes in, 5 inches. And this is not hard math. You can actually even rip the paper. You see how I use that? I just rip the paper with the edge of my ruler. You can do that too, because this is flex frost. You want to cut it. So now you have we have 1 strip that's full size. I have an extra strip here. 1 strip that's full size, 8 inches long. 1 strip that's 5, and then you have a little extra left over, 3 inches left over. We're going to use that for the center of our bow.
So part of that, hold on 1 second. I just saw something. When you picked it up, it was shiny, and the other side is not. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because flex frost is shiny on one side and matte finish on the other.
so you can kind of choose which way you want it to go.
That's correct. If you were using this with a satin ribbon on your board of your cake, you could use the shiny side. If you want the matte finish, you could use the matte side. All right.
Cool.
So the first thing you're going to do, and because this is flex frost, we can do this. You're going to almost fold this in half. See how I did that? I'm not folding it all the way in half, but I kind of am. And then I'm going to fold it in half this way. So it looks like this. Half and in half. Okay, and I'm doing this for a reason because I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the point to my bow. Okay, just like that.
I can do that.
Yeah, let me show you one more time. So fold it in half again. Okay, and then you're going to cut your point with your scissors. Boom. Okay. Now, the next thing that I like to do is I take the whole thing and fold it in half long ways. Okay, long ways. And I'm going to do the same thing with my scissors. I'm just going to cut a little notch in there, just like that. Okay, try to get it in the center. All right, the only reason you're doing this is to reduce some bulk. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I like it better. Okay, now we're going to get a little of our little honey's glue. I'm going to move my ruler out of the way for a minute.
And I'll put where you can find that on our website. This is amazing, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And we now carry it. Yay!
And you don't need a whole lot of it. You can use it right out of the dispenser. It's got a nice tip on it, and it's got a little seal that stays with it, the little rubber stopper. Or you can dispense it a little bit into a jar or on a plate. That's what I normally do. And I take a brush, and on whatever side you want up, the shiny or the dull, you're just going to put a little bit of your glue right where you put those notches. So right here. Can everybody see that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you're going to take your long 8-inch strip, kind of fold it in half so you know where the middle is, and then lay it down with the opposite of the side you want to show. So if you want the shiny side up, put the matte side down. If you want the matte side up, put the matte side up. Okay? Everybody understand that? Now we're going to take a little honey's glue again. We're just going to put a little glue in the same spot in the middle and fold the one end up. Put just a little bit more glue.
I have a question, Laurie.
Yep.
Why did you take the glue and put it in a little saucer rather than just dispensing it directly onto the paper?
You don't need very much. And so yes, I could dispense it right out of the tip, and I do that. If it's a bigger piece that I'm working on, I would do that. But because I don't need very much at all, because this is so strong of a glue, I just put a little bit in the container and use a brush.
Okay.
So you could do either way. All right, so now you should have this. Okay, you got your all glued together. Now, here comes the fun part. We're going to take that piece that we had left over, that 3-inch piece, and you're going to take just about maybe 3/4 to an inch of it and cut off the end.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to take this thing that we just glued together, and we're going to pinch it together, just like that. And hold it.
So you're pinching the, okay, yeah, there we go.
Pinch it together and hold it with your fingers. Don't worry what it looks like right now. Don't worry about that. Everybody goes, oh, it doesn't look right. Don't worry about that. Okay, what you're doing is you're bending that fabric, that flex frost, to get it to the shape you want. Now, and you notice it's starting to already hold that shape. Now you're going to take this piece, this little tiny piece that we cut off, and put a little glue on it, on the ends, both ends, and we're going to wrap it on the back side. Put it on the back side, go over the top, and glue it again on the back side. That creates your bow. That's the center for your bow. Okay?
Awesome.
and you're done.
That's
You
it.
can fluff this. Yeah, you could fluff it up if you want. You can take and put your finger in there and fluff it up if you want the bow to be bigger. I like the look of this tied bow. And when you do a tied bow tie, that's the look you get.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That
You could also use different color.
That's
like,
right. You
use
could
the backing to be a different color.
Yeah, you could use a different color on the back. You could take and if it's for, this is a little big, so I would do something smaller or make the bow bigger, but you could put like in the middle, if it's for a boy, for a baby shower cake, you could put like a little elephant
Got it.
in the middle. You could put a gem in the middle. You really want to, you know, you could put some dragées in the middle. You could do just about everything. So that's number one. That was quick and easy.
I have a question before you start number 2.
Okay.
This is from Irethia.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure I butchered your name, but she would like to know what is the best thing to use for cake ruffles. So which edible paper do you like? And I'm going to say why, because there's a lot of different papers that we sell.
Okay, for cake ruffles. Okay. For cake ruffles, I would do 2. I have 2 that I really like. I would obviously use Flex Frost because you can ruffle this very easily. So I'm just going to take a strip. This is one of my leftover strips. And I can ruffle this very easily. And what I would do is pre-pint it. So all I'm doing is ruffling it like you ruffle fabric. See how I did that? Just ruffle it with my fingers. And then I would go back and put just a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot. That's why I put it on a brush. Put a line of glue. And then you can go back and just ruffle, 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 ruffle. Okay? So
I'm in the background, by the way. I know you can't well, maybe you can see me. I'm spraying down a piece of Smart Sheets, but you keep going because I'm going to talk to him afterwards.
Yep. Yep. I was going to say the next one I would use as Deb is spraying this thing of Smart Sheet is Smart Sheets. Okay. I don't have mine sprayed, so, but it's the same thing. This becomes very fabric-like. So you could, if you want, and you could print this ahead of time. You print the Smart Sheets, if you're printing it through your edible printer, run it through on the rough side, not the smooth side, because the smooth side doesn't keep the ink as well in the printer. The rough side does better printing. And then spray it with some paper potion, which I need to do mine anyway. So when you spray paper potion, you spray just a little bit on it. I do both sides. I don't know if I'm supposed to do both sides, but that's what I do.
I do both sides, and it really, you want to give it a little bit of time to melt in. It gets so soft, it's like silky almost. It's really cool.
Yeah. It is really cool. So you could use, that would be the other thing I would use for ruffles.
And if you were to print on this, what I would do is I would spray it, let it dry, and then print on it so that you don't smear it. When it dries, it'll still be very flexible. You can tell I'm not a decorator, so I just go like this.
All right. Any more questions about this one?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna put bow tie aside for a minute. All right. Now, the next one we're gonna do is a standard elegant bow, okay? And this is, if you want patterns or anything, Google DIY paper bows. There's all kind of YouTubes out there. Or you can come back and refer to this one. I printed my gold, and I didn't do a very good job printing, by the way. I printed my gold with one of the I designs, the words. Okay. And I'm going to cut my paper bow. Again, I like 1.5 inches. For some reason, I like that one. I was going to say, you not have your printer set up right? No, probably not, because we did it. We messed up the printer the other day. I loaded a new one. I shouldn't have done that. I got to go back and reset up my.
Oh yeah,
So
you did. Okay, got it. So you had to reload everything and you didn't set everything up. It's
I
fine.
didn't have time to go back and reset everything up. So
But
that
what
was,
I'm noticing is you're cutting against the words.
yes,
Okay.
I'm cutting long ways. All right.
Okay.
The reason is because I would like to have long strips. Okay, long strips.
Now, would you have rather, and I kind of know the answer to this now that I'm asking it, um, you know, you printed that in iDesigns, and in iDesigns, you can actually flip it to print either horizontal or vertical.
Yep.
But I think if this was me, if I printed it horizontal and I cut it horizontal, you'd have these kind of funny the spaces between it. I think this looks better.
Yeah, that's kind of why I did it. And I did not put the cut lines. I did use the iDesigns. I did not put cut lines in this. All right.
Right.
Now, again, I just cut the long strips first, and then I would like to make 2 sizes of strips out of these. So I'm going to make a 6-inch strip, and then I'm going to have the rest of what's left over, which is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit left over. All right, so just put your paper here before you pull it up. And if you've got a quilting ruler, this is why I like this thing. I'm going to cut it right at 6 inches. I just lay my ruler down because it's 6 inches wide, and I just cut. And because I lifted this up, it moved. But it's okay. No harm, no foul. All right, now we're going to take all these strips. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extra. We're going to use the extra for something. And then we're going to have 5 long strips, 4 and an extra. This is a really easy paper craft bow. Okay. Now you notice I pushed a little harder on the sheet with my pen blade, and I almost cut through the sheet. That's why I leave mine on the sheet when I cut them. You see? I almost cut through, so I don't want to cut my silicone mat. You could also put a piece of cardboard down if you're worried about cutting your mat. All right, so you've got 4 long ones and 4 short ones and 2 spares. Okay, you're going to flip them over so your printing is facing down.
Okay, flip the back, turn one over and hold it up so we can see the back, because this is really interesting, I think. See, you can see through that, which I like, because if this is mimicking fabric and you look on not on what I'm wearing, but when you look on the underneath of a piece of fabric, you can see through it and you can see the pattern through it. And that's one thing I like about this. And I noticed that she printed black on a gold. Is that gold or that's gold or bronze? That's gold.
Gold.
So it's pretty cool that you can print on those colors and get some amazing results.
Yep. And I could have printed with a color too. I just chose black. I mean, I just used what was standard in the iDesigns. Now I'm going to take some glue. Okay. And just on one end, I'm going to brush one end just like that on each one of those. Now we're going to make a paper circle, just like you'd make a paper circle. Stick them together, just like this. Now, if you want your bow to be bigger, you can use 2 sheets of paper, or actually it'd be a sheet and a half if you want bigger bows. And now we're just going to fold them over and glue them. So we got circles like this. See? See how we did that? Do the little ones too. Just glue them. This is like, you know, reminds me of doing like paper circles for a Christmas tree or something. This is back to my scrapbook days, I've decided. I'm back to my scrapbook days. And that was a long time ago. All right.
It's amazing how these worlds really do, you know, because we have an edible paper, it really does cross the same skills.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with this, with edible paper that are paper craft skills. All right, now for this one, you're just going to take a dot of glue, put it in the middle, and put one on top of the other, one on top of the other. You see that? Put another dot of glue and crisscross this one. Put another dot of glue.
I like how quickly that glue holds.
Yes, that's what I really like about this, because you could use some water, but it doesn't hold as fast as this glue. Okay, so now I have the bottom bow. There's the bottom part of the bow. Okay, now I'm going to do the top. You do the same thing. A dot of glue. Put your bow in the middle, and what I'm doing is I'm offsetting each time I go around, and just put these in. You want them skinnier, you can make them skinnier. If you want them thicker, you can make them thicker.
This almost looks easier to work with than regular paper.
It is, because it's flexible.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is your bow. Okay, now to make the center pretty, this is where you could do a piece. You could put some dragées. You could put a cutout piece of fondant or gum paste. If we cut out extras like these, I have a box that we keep them in, so you could grab something out. We don't waste it around here. Or you can take your, take your long one and just take a little piece and make another little circle and glue the end. And this is like rolling circles with tape. You know how many of these I used to do with the kids as kid projects? And you just put that in the center. Okay? And then you can take the end pieces, the extra pieces that we cut, those extra strips, and do it just like we did. Put two together, fold it in half, and then cut your V. And now you got your points for your ribbon. And then you glue these two. Let me do it upside down so you guys can see. These two together like this with a little glue and a little glue, and now you have a ribbon.
Wow.
Okay, see how fast that was? This is small. So you could cut the strips skinnier, you could cut them longer, but that's just a really quick one out of one sheet of paper. And it looks really cool on the front of a cake. I don't know, a little cake dummy here. So if I put it on the front of the cake right there. I'll try to hold it with my finger. Well, I hold it down. Let's mark the one.
Gotta let it dry.
Yeah, so you could just put it on a cake, or let me move the cake dummy down a little bit. Move the camera up would be better.
Yeah, it'd be easier.
Yeah. So there you could just stick it in the middle of your cake tier.
And if you want those loops to open up more, you could either make it thinner and longer, or just make them longer loops.
Exactly. Yeah. The next one we're going to make longer loops. I'm going to make longer loops with the next one. All right. So that's one way to do it. Save your backing papers. Use those. Okay. Now let's make a fun one with some wafer paper, printed wafer paper. You could also print this on a piece of white Flex Frost. If you're going to use wafer paper, when you first get it out, it's stiff. Okay. You have to spray it with some paper potion. So spray it. I usually spray it after I print it. Deb, I don't know what you recommend, but that's what we do around here.
Definitely with wafer paper.
Okay.
What is paper potion?
Paper potion is this awesome conditioner for wafer paper, edible and other edible paper, because we're now using it for other things. So you can use it to condition your paper so you can bend it. And normally wafer paper is very brittle, depending on your conditions. And paper potion is the conditioner that helps you able to work with this, so it becomes more pliable, so you can do a lot more things. You can use it for glue, you can paint with it, you can do all kind of stuff with paper potion.
And there's no water in it, so it will not melt the paper like water would. If you use enough of it, it will. And it is alcohol free as well now.
Yep. And Look, I'm bending this. I couldn't do this if it was regular paper. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut my strips, and I'm going to cut long strips, and we need more this time. So you would do 2 sheets of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And Deb, I don't know what that would work out in penny wise, what that would be. 2 sheets of paper.
I mean, look, let's see. Depends how you buy it, because we have 100 packs that are a lot less expensive overall than the 25 packs are. But the wafer paper is our least expensive sheet. They are, I'm just doing quick math in my head. When you're buying the 25 pack, I am thinking it's about 40 cents a sheet. When you buy the 100 pack, it is a lot less expensive. Well, no, it's 35 cents a sheet. Math in my head, guys. Yeah. So.
Yep. So lay your paper down and cut your strips. This is where if you are doing a lot of bows or that, I would use a paper cutter. And I have done that because you can cut 5 or 6 strips of wafer paper in a paper cutter very quickly. I mean, I'm cutting 2 at a time with a pin blade, but when I did the weaving with the wafer paper, I cut with my paper cutter. And I got one of those old school ones, you know, with the arm where you lower the arm down.
Guillotine.
Guillotine ones, yeah, that kind. I've got those. So that was back from my scrapbook days. I still have it. And
you know, to do these little Bible verses, we have this machine here, and it's cut, boom, it like cuts it. It's like this big, powerful cutter. It's really wild. It'll take it off, I'm sure, if you get it in there.
Yeah. All right. Save your scraps when you have leftover scraps. I think we should do a live one day of all the different things you can do with your scraps.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
What do you call it? That is an awesome idea. Would you guys watch that? Because it's pretty amazing. A lot of people complain, I have scraps, you know, and there's so much you can do.
Okay. Now, I have all these strips. Okay, they're long strips, which is okay. We are going to take them in their long state the first time, and we're going to make a loop. So I'm making a loop that looks like this. So I have it upside down, the paper's upside down, the printed side's down, and I'm making a loop, and I'm crisscrossing it. See how that is?
Yeah.
Make like a point. Okay. This is the classic ribbon that you would get at a store if you were going to buy a ribbon. This is how you make the classic ribbon. Okay. So the reason you want to do it with the long strip first, and then I'll measure to see what it is you want to make sure you have enough to glue everything together and make your point. Okay. And you'll see this in a minute. So save these extra strips because we're still going to use them. Now, as you do this, you're going to take and put just a dot of glue on your wafer paper. Little Honey's glue works really good for wafer paper as well. It does not melt the paper. If you were to use, you could use paper potion for your glue. You could spritz a little paper potion in a little jar, like a little container next to you, like I did. And use this for glue if you don't have the Little Honey's glue. But if you use water, you have to dip your brush in the water and then take your brush and brush it off on your skin. Because if you put too much water on wafer paper, it will dissolve.
Okay. You are off screen. Yeah, now you're on screen. Okay.
Yeah. I got to move my paper back. Here we go. Okay, so I made one. All right, and I cut off 1, 2, 3, about 4.5 inches I cut off. So just take your next piece of paper and cut off. You can take 2 or 3 of these at a time and lay them all together and cut off those 4-inch pieces of paper. Because now we're just going to cut these all off, put them aside because we're still going to use them. All right, and you can make this as big or as little as you want. Again, you're working upside down. Make your, it's like a triangle point. Okay, just like that. And then glue. A little bit of glue. Now, you can have your bow sitting here, and while you're doing it, put another dot of glue here and glue this one right next to the one you already did to build your bow. Okay, this is how it's coming. This is going to go really fast. Let me get a little stuff on my brush. Make our point. This is a classic bow. Put a little glue. Glue this down. Okay, and we're going to fan it out like it's in a circle. All right, go to the next one. And you can, these are very therapeutic. You can sit it there and do this in front of your TV. I make bows in front of the TV. And I used to make lots and lots of fabric bows. So, you know, this is exactly how people do fabric bows. And I have arthritis. So as I find I'm getting older, it's easier for me to do the bows like this instead of trying to hold all the bows together and fold all the fabric and then pinch it all together with my hand. I can't do that anymore. So this old-fashioned paper crafting where you're making the points and then gluing them together works really well for me. Okay, so you're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. There's your first round. Okay. First round. Does that start to look like a bow?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it coming. If you want to glue some more of the edges down, just take your brush and kind of move it around with a little bit of glue on it. Again, you don't need very much. I did spray this also with paper potion so that it smells wonderful. Now I'm going to take my little strips that we cut off and we're going to do the same thing. Hold it and make your points the same way, except they don't have that tail at the bottom. Ooh, they don't have that tail.
Got it.
Okay. Put some glue down, and you're going to glue them in between the points. So I went in between. Can you guys see that? In between.
Yep. So you could do these way ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You could do it way ahead of time. Little glue down, go in between. And you can make these as big or as little as you want.
For those of you who are just joining us, Denise, she is under the weather. And so Laurie has jumped in. It's an April Fool's joke. Really not that funny, but and Laurie is showing us many different ways to make different kind of bows out of different kinds of edible paper. And so far she showed us the Flex Frost, and now she's showing us the wafer paper. And yes, for those of you who are joining us late, this will be rebroadcasted on the Icing Images Facebook page.
All right, then for the middle. So for the second row, I only did 3. Okay, I only needed 3 of the smaller points. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That looks good to me. It's just how it looks to you. Do you want another one? You can put another one in. Let's put another one in. So okay, let's put another one in. You know, maybe I do want 4. It's really up to you. There's no right or wrong, or good or bad. Oh, yeah, my grandson came over to tell me there's an animatronics that likes Pokemon. All right.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
That made my day to know that.
That made our day. Can I tell you? Not right now, sweetheart. You can tell me after we're done.
What did he say?
Today, he's going to take the bowl of popcorn he asked for earlier. Okay, I just had put just about 3 drops of Little Honey's glue in my little dish. I'm putting about 3 more drops, so it goes a long way. All right, I took one of the short strips and just make a curl.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to cut it off, and then we're going to glue this right in the center. And that's just to finish up your bow. And you just kind of work it in there and push it down so it'll stick. And that makes the center of your bow.
Wow. And I love the fact that it's, themed as well using the eye designs. That is really cool.
And it's really easy to do. This can go on the side of a cake. It can go as the top of the cake, a cake topper. And like I said, you can make really big ones of these. We size them to make them for the top of our cakes. Let me bring it over here. So here's the cake dummy. This one, I would probably make it just a little bit bigger next time. Make more loops and make it a little bit bigger. But this is a 6-inch top. So
Got it. Cool.
any color you could want to do. It's really easy to make them ahead of time. You have them all ready to go. If you were doing a Easter cakes, say you were doing Easter cakes this year, and you sold a bunch of these, pick your design of your cake, include the bow as part of the design, and make it ahead of time. Again, we just throw them, we let them dry for a little bit for the glue to dry, and then put them in, put them in a Tupperware, sealed up Tupperware. Just let them sit there, and they will be fine.
Got it.
Now, you had said we probably with a smart sheet, it might be better to do it with that. So tell us why you think it'd be better to do with a smart sheet.
All right. First, I want to say that we will be, this is going to be rebroadcasted. Manya said hello, and they said it looks real. And Kate from Australia, I believe she's from Australia, is here. It's in the morning, very early, or in the middle of the night.
Like
3 a.m. No, they had a time change, so she was late.
Man, 3 a.m.
Yeah, she's joining us at 3 a.m. Dedication, guys. All right. So, and then I had a question for you, and then I want to tell you about why I think smart sheets might look better or work better, but that obviously this works really well. Can you do that with Flex Frost, or will it not?
Yeah, you can do it with Flex Frost. Let me get some silver Flex Frost here, and I'll do a couple of strips and show you how to do it while you're talking. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, when I'm looking at, and you guys remember, I'm not a baker. I mean, a decorator or a baker. So I'm looking at this because I look at it at a different view, a different angle. Like, okay, what are different ways? What about different climates? So I look at features and benefits and things like that a little bit differently. I'm definitely not as talented as you guys. Flex Frost is a flexible fabric, and so it's made to move like fabric. And so what I'm thinking, but she may prove me wrong, okay, and that's kind of why I asked the question, is that Flex Frost won't be as good as a wafer paper, which is stiffer, or the smart sheets, which are definitely stiffer. But the advantage of the Flex Frost is exactly what you can see. Look at that. That's silver. And it's a wow factor right there. And you can print on all of these edible papers, but that's really cool. So that's kind of what I'm asking her, because I want to see how well it holds up. I'm imagining, but I don't know for sure, if this was very humid where you are, then maybe it will flop more, but I don't even know what your humidity level is there. The reason,
right now in Dallas, we are kind of mid humidity. It's not, we're pretty even right now.
Okay.
Yeah, as it gets closer and hotter in the summer, we're going to get more humidity. So
okay, so that can have a factor, but I think she's gonna prove me wrong. All right, I love Smart Sheets. It is a newer paper that we have. It is sugar-free. It stands up to every climate, including the real dry heat of Las Vegas. That's where I first came into contact with this sheet, and I left it out for days. This has been left out for a while, and I sprayed it with the paper potion, and then I wrinkled it. But it's just the way that it holds its structure is what I'm looking at. So, I mean, I'm holding it. It's not like flopping. If I held Flex Frost like this, it would flop. So the papers are very different. These sheets we found it useful, and if you were with us on Tuesday, we created paint your own palettes that were 100% edible with these sheets because they handle water really well. So that's why I'm like, try this. And yes, you can print on it as well. But so the Flex Frost is doing great.
Yeah. I think it depends on the look you're going for too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this reminds me of a Christmas bow.
Yeah.
Know?
Or wedding.
Or a wedding. This is, you know, think about these as your classic bows that you would put on packages. And we get asked for this all the time. If I were to make one out of gum paste, I got to make each one of these parts and I got to let them dry because I can't, I mean, I could stick like 2 or 3 of them together, but then I've got to let them dry. I've got to put, you know, a piece of tissue paper or paper towel rolled up or foam rollers or whatever your choice is to make bows, and let it sit and dry. And I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was for a competition, I'd say hands down, I would make, you know, make a one out of gum paste. But
this looks more realistic, I would think. More so than a gum paste would. And again, I'm not a decorator. Is it more realistic looking than than gum paste would be? Or the same?
Gum paste is very dull when it dries.
Okay.
Right? So you usually have to dust gum paste, and then you need to either steam it or, you know, whatever you're going to do to set it. You could spray it with some edible shellac or any of those kind of things. But you would have to probably paint it silver to get this silver color.
Got it.
Little silver paint. So, I mean, it didn't take me any time to do this. So.
Right. I mean, yeah, I was just talking, but I can talk a lot. Lysandra, she's using the Little Honeys glue, and I just put the link on it for you. These products are available on our website. I'm just throwing up links as she's using the different products. There's a search bar on our website as well, so you can search if you don't want to follow one of my links.
All right. Now, I'm going to do another one for you real quick. This is an asymmetrical bow. So people ask me all the time about asymmetrical bows. If you've ever seen any of my competition cakes, I do a lot of bows. I like the movement of bows. I like it mimics fabric. And I've done them with gum paste. I've done them with fondant. I've done them with lace. I mean, edible lace. I've done all different kind of bows. And asymmetrical bows are really fun to do on a cake. And they're really easy to do. People get really bent out of shape over these. All we're going to do is take those long strips and just cut them in half. They don't have to be exact. Okay? These are my leftover long strips I had. Now, we're going to turn them. I've got to get some more glue out because I'm using quite a bit of glue. I'm going to turn it so the print side is down. If I were using the silver, I could decide if I want to use, if I want to use the, you know, the printed side, the shiny side, or the different, this more looks like a satin ribbon. The shiny, see, I don't know if you can see that. See, it looks more gray, and this is more silver. Oh, yeah. More like a satin ribbon, and the back side of that looks more like a gray, like a duller gray ribbon, whichever one you want. I would probably use this side, the shiny. All right, but for this, because it's printed, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm using wafer paper. I'm going to just paint some glue on the bottom, and I'm going to make a loop. Okay? Now, I'm going to take my next one, put a little glue on there, and I'm going to start my loop just a little bit off. So see how I did that? Just a little bit off. So there's the first loop. There's my long strip of paper. And then I'm going to bring it down and then put a little glue and make another loop. So now I have 2 loops in a row. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Easy peasy. I'm going to do the same thing. You can do as many loops as you want. I didn't go all the way to the end when I glued it. You guys can see. Now I'm going to put some more glue here and make my loop. Okay, so there's 3 loops.
Got it.
Okay, now let's go the other way. Do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to do exactly the same way we did. Glue the first ones together, end to end. Take another strip. Find where you want it to be. These are very forgiving, people. Don't stress about these. These are meant to be fun and fast and save you time and money.
And you can make them any shape or size that you want.
Exactly. Now I have 2 sets. Okay, these are a little floppier because they're wafer paper. This is where the Smart Sheet would probably be better.
Yeah.
Okay? Now I'm going to take the 2 ends and I'm going to join them together. All right, so take the 2 ends and join them together in the middle. This is where it's really fun to put an embellishment in the middle. So I just happen to have this little elephant sitting around. So I would probably not use the elephant. Easter bunny is what I'd probably use on this one. Or I could make a loop.
So right now I'm underneath you, and the piece that I wrinkled up, I put 4 pieces of scrap right on top. Well, that took it, but you can see that it kind of holds it. So it holds a little bit of weight. It's not going to hold a ton of weight, but that's the Smart Sheet.
Okay, now I just glued a little tiny circle in the middle. So there's a bow right there. Now, I could do 2 things really fast. I could do this little shape that we did and put it pointing out at the end. Okay? Right. One there and one at the other end, really fast. And then I could stick this on the side of a cake. Or I could take a couple more long strips. Now, because I sprayed this with paper potion, I can fold it in half and cut my notches. I couldn't do that if I hadn't sprayed it with paper potion.
Right.
All right, now, let me bring our dummy cake over, and I'll bring you up a little bit. And we'll put this on the dummy cake. Bring it up in the bag, just so. There we go. Okay, now we're going to put this on the dummy cake. We want an asymmetrical line, so you can glue this anywhere on the dummy cake. I now have these gorgeous loops kind of hanging in the air, right? So let's glue that down with a little bit of glue. Where's my brush? And this is fast and easy. This is a fashionista cake right here.
And you can actually print on both sides of the wafer if you wanted to.
Exactly. This is where the Flex Frost would be kind of cool because it does have that look of fabric. Okay, you're going to have to hold this for a little bit. You know, this cake dummy is really dusty. It might be.
So instead of a dummy cake, it's a dusty cake.
Yep. So let's hold it for a minute. Now I can take this strip and I can put it behind here and I can fold it up and just put dots of glue.
Mm-hmm.
I could go off, you know, I can come out here and go off to the side and put some out here. So you can take these strips, these tails that you made and let me put the black one up there so you guys can see it better. Any way you want. On your cake.
I could see that. You could take it.
If you do it at an angle, it's really cool.
Yeah. Or turn it sideways and continue making that so it's really long and put it at the base of the cake to hide any lines on the bottom where the cakes meet. Like, yeah, right on the bottom. Or on the top.
You can do it on the bottom, or you can do it on the top. That's actually really cool. That's a really cool look. So you could do it this way, you could do, you know, this way. But, you know, I like the movement this gives me. And it looks like real ribbon. That's the thing that's cool about this stuff, is it looks like real ribbon.
And you could hit that with lusters.
Yeah. You could hit them with lusters. You could take the edges of your wafer paper and either hit them with a marker or a paintbrush or airbrush. just to jazz up the edges of the paper a little bit. I mean, there's all kind of things you can do. That actually mimics what we do with cardstock. With cardstock in scrapbooking, and I actually was watching Carrie Griffiths. He has a scrapbooking channel now. He's doing scrapbook stuff. But he took just a paintbrush and he went on the edge of the paper so it wasn't white,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with whatever color paint you want to use. But anyway, so there's an asymmetrical bow. It was fast and easy. And you can make these as floppy and as big as you want.
Got it.
There's that one. Here's our gift bow. Gift bow.
Nice.
So you can do it on the top or the bottom. Here's our gold, our silver one. Our silver one.
I love that one. It's so pretty.
I do. That looks like a Christmas bow. Here's our gold one. This more looks, I would put a medallion or something. This one's still didn't glue. I didn't glue this one right. My fault. I would put a medallion in the middle of this one and make it a little bit bigger. And then here's our classic bow tie.
Cool. Any questions, guys, so far? Wow, that went by fast.
Really fast, didn't it? And we
Oh my
made
goodness.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bows.
Wow. And you were talking all the way through it. It's not like, yeah, you could have done a bazillion of them by now. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit.
No, I mean, I could have made a ton of them. I mean, I could have made twice as many.
Yeah.
Without talking to you, which, these are fun. And you can make them, like Deb said, any kind of seasonal print. I mean, how fun is that?
Yeah.
And they're easy to do.
Cool. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Wow. Well, thank you. Thanks for jumping in so quick. We're all hoping that Denise gets feeling better soon. We will reschedule her. I'm just a little worried because she had flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. when she messaged us, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm a little scared for her, but yeah, we'll pray that everything works out okay for her. And besides, it's always nice to have you on. Laurie is saying, awesome. Joanne loved it. Awesome as well. Kate at 3 a.m. You're nuts. I'd watch the rerun, but I love it. That really makes me feel good that you get up at 3 a.m. to watch us live. Gloria thanks us as well. But really, thank you for being there because, I've jumped in a couple times when people had to cancel last minute and you've seen enough of me. So, getting old, Elza says, can we use as a glue water and sugar? If you're using water and wafer, they don't mix well depending on what you're trying to do. Water melts wafer. So you got to be careful how much you use. And that's why we have the different kind of glues. Good night, Kate. Sweet dreams. See you Tuesday at a better time. It'll be like 6 a.m.
So how to answer that? We've used a lot of stuff. Wafer paper and water, like Deb said, doesn't mix very well. You can use water and wafer paper, but very, very sparingly because it just will disintegrate it. I would use, if you don't have an edible glue or you don't have paper potion, which works like glue, either one of those work really good. You could use piping gel. You could use glucose or corn syrup. I wouldn't water it down though, but just a little tiny dab.
Yeah, each type of glue that she shows, like the paper potion versus the Little Honey's glue, functions a little bit differently. And some of the other ones that are out there that people have used for generations, like piping gel and corn syrup, they're a little too heavy sometimes. They slide too much sometimes.
It's almost like snot. I mean, it's slippery. They're sorry, but I mean, it is what it is. You put and then they won't stick where you want it to stick. That's what's nice about either using one of these is you put your thing down, it's sticking.
Right. Yeah. Yep. All right. Throwing things again. Well, thank you again for coming on so last minute. Tuesday, we have Mitchie joining us. And Mitchie's been around forever. She's amazing. And I hope you join us for that. And then next Thursday, we have Cupcake Parker, and she's going to make this gorgeous shoe. So I hope you join us for that. Happy Easter, guys. Don't forget the coupon. And until Tuesday, happy decorating.